best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
The man, the myth, the legend. Yup, that's him.
Oh, sugar ducky quack quack.
Just black.
Hey, yo, what it do, what it do? Welcome to the Cheat True Podcast with your boy Justin or J.Will, whatever you want to call me. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully you can hear me real well through your speakers, through your headphones, your $200 AirPods, your 415s, your 612s. Wherever you may be listening to this from, whatever you may be doing at this moment, besides listening to me, I appreciate you for dropping in, checking in on your boy, because as always, could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me, and for that, I really do appreciate you, and for that, I thank you. So, it's been a minute since I actually put one of these out, since I put an episode out. Last week, I switched it up a little bit on y'all. You know, a little sleight of hand. I did a live stream with me and my boy AC. Shout out to my boy AC for coming through and doing that for me, doing that with me. I think we had a good conversation about the, all the unrest that's going on in America right now after the George Floyd murder. Had a good conversation about racism, about his death, and about what we can do to, prevent these things from happening in the future. So it was a good conversation. So shout out to everybody out there that came through for the live stream. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule, out of your busy night to come listen to me and my boy AC. Really do appreciate that. And I plan on using that form a whole lot more. Plan on doing a whole lot more live streams. So trust me, that was just one of many to come. And I think the way that I want to do things now, as far as scheduling wise with the podcast, I think I'm going to end up doing one of these a week. I'm going to end up dropping an episode. So you'll end up with one of these official Cheap True podcast episodes, I guess, a week, and then I'll do a live stream. So you'll hear from me twice a week, like you've been hearing, except for last week when I just did the live stream. But so yeah, I'm throwing away the whole one podcast is going to be sports during the early part of the week, and then one podcast is going to be something about a current event or something in pop culture or something that's not sports. So I'm kind of doing away with it, and I'm just going to do one episode a week, and then I'm going to do a live stream. Now I do plan on publishing that live stream. I'll make it available. I didn't make last week's available. It's a long story as to why I didn't do that, but going forward, I'll make those live streams available. And I don't know, maybe I'll just upload it to YouTube or something. I may not even release it in like the Apple Store or Google Podcasts or Podbean, wherever you get your podcast from. I may not do it like that. I may just upload it to YouTube or something. But yeah, I do plan on doing it like that for now. And that's the beauty of having your own platform. That's the beauty of having your own product or own service. You can just do things how you want to do them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody saying that you got to do it a certain way. There's nobody with a budget saying, well, we only have these many hours, or we only have this much money. You can only do it this way, or you can only do it the way that I tell you to. You can be as creative as you want to. You can be creative. You can be very explorative. You can make it whatever. You can do it. You can do what you want to do. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And you can try things. You can fail at them. You can try again. You can try to readjust. And there's nobody standing over you telling you that you can't do it. There's nobody standing over you telling you that we don't have enough money for this. At the end of the day, you're the driving force. So that's the beauty of having your own platform, having your own product, having your own service, website, whatever it may be. You can just be as creative as you want to be. And that's one of the reasons why I started this, so I can be creative and explore different avenues, different walks of life or whatever. But anyway, y'all don't want to hear about that. But without further ado, let's hop into today's topic, which centers on a message put out by the NFL players in response to everything that's been going on in America with the George Floyd murder, with police brutality, with racial inequality, all of that. And Roger Goodell putting out a response to that video on behalf of the NFL. And I'm going to play the video by the NFL players first. I'm going to play that audio, and then I'm going to follow that up directly with Roger Goodell's response. So here it is.
It's been 10 days since George Floyd was brutally murdered.
How many times do we need to ask you to listen to your players?
What will it take
for one of us to be murdered by police brutality?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd? If I was George Floyd?
I am George Floyd.
I am Breonna Taylor.
I am Ahmaud Arbery.
I am Eric Garner.
I am McCormick Dunn.
I am Tamir Rice.
I am Trayvon Martin.
I am Walter Scott.
I am Michael Brown Jr.
I am Samuel Du Bois.
I am Frank Smart.
I'm Philip White.
I am Jordan Baker.
We will not be silenced.
We assert our right
To peacefully protest.
It shouldn't take this long to admit. So, on behalf of the National Football League,
This is what we, the players,
Would like to hear you state.
We,
the National Football League,
condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people.
we, the National Football League,
Admit wrong and silencing our players from peacefully protesting.
we, the National Football League,
Believe Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
It has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, Black people in our country. First, my condolences to the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the families who have endured police brutality. We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of Black people. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black Lives Matter. I personally protest with you and want to be part of the much needed change in this country. Without Black players, there would be no National Football League. And the protests around the country are emblematic of the centuries of silence, inequality, and oppression of Black players, coaches, fans, and staff. We are listening. I am listening. And I will be reaching out to players who have raised their voices and others on how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family.
All right, so if you didn't recognize some of those voices in the first clip, you got guys like Michael Thomas, and I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but Michael Thomas does not look how he sounds, and he does not sound how he looks. It's like his face and his voice does not match each other. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy or something, but it doesn't seem like they match up well together, his voice and his face. And you got guys like Odell Beckham Jr., Ezekiel Elliott, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Gilmore, Tyrann Matthew, Saquon Barkley, Patrick Mahomes as well, who I'm not going to lie, it's honestly kind of a breath of fresh air to see somebody like Patrick Mahomes in on this issue, saying as though you don't really see guys, big-time quarterbacks get involved in these conversations. Keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes is Black, and Deshaun Watson's a big-time quarterback too. I'm not trying to poo-poo him or anything, but Patrick Mahomes is on another level. I got to admit that. Even as somebody who said that he would get exposed by the 49ers in the Super Bowl, which they were almost there, but the 49ers couldn't close the deal, holding them to 10 points going into the fourth quarter. I don't even want to bring that back up. I'm pretty sure 49ers fans don't want to relive that either. But yeah, seeing him speak up on this and seeing him come out and give a statement and be in this video, that's a big deal. That's a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? But you had them make this statement, and then you had Roger Goodell come out on behalf of the NFL and apologize. I mean, he came out and he apologized. I mean, he repeated what they said, and he apologized and said that the NFL screwed up and they got it wrong. And it's funny that this happens now. And well, I guess it came out some days ago, but it's funny this happens now. If you guys were tuned into the live stream, then you know I brought this point up last week that I've always felt like the NFL played this wrong. They played the whole Colin Kaepernick situation wrong. They panicked, and they were more concerned with losing sponsors and alienating their white audience. And let's just call it what it is. That's what it was. Because if that wasn't the case, then they would have had no problem putting their arms around Colin Kaepernick and being like, you know what? You're right. You're right. We respect what you're doing. We respect what you're standing up for. We realize that police brutality against black people is a problem in this country. It's too many unarmed black people getting gunned down by police officers. And not only are they getting gunned down by police officers, the police officers are not going to jail because of this. They're not getting punished because of this. They're getting away with it. They're getting paid administrative leave for killing black people. And you know what, Colin? We believe in it. And whatever we can do, you want to peacefully protest, go out there and peacefully protest. We're behind you 100%. Yes, we may lose a sponsor too, but you know what? There will be another sponsor that will come in and take their place. You're the NFL, damn it. You're the NFL. That's the thing that kind of that really pissed me off about that too. It was like all of a sudden, man, you're the big bad NFL. This is the same NFL, y'all, that literally, I think it was Katy Perry, if I'm not mistaken. They really went to Katy Perry and said that you have to pay us in order to play the Super Bowl halftime. Look it up. They did that. And I could be getting the artist wrong, but I think it was Katy Perry. Yeah, they really went to that person, whether it's Katy Perry, whether it was somebody else, that said, yeah, how about you pay us to play the halftime show? Now, I don't think that they pay people to play the halftime show at the Super Bowl, but they pretty much pay for all their expenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't necessarily pay them for the show, but they pay them. They make sure they pay for their lodging and things like that. So I guess they do pay for it. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? But yeah, this is the same NFL that said you're gonna have to pay us in order to play the Super Bowl halftime show. All right, so you flexing your muscle all over the place, and now all of a sudden, when Colin Kaepernick started protesting, all of a sudden when it's about black people, all of a sudden when it's about racial injustice, okay, all of a sudden black people want to stand up. So somebody wants to stand up for black people. Now you're a pipsqueak. Now all of a sudden, oh man, we're so afraid of losing our fans. We're so afraid of losing sponsors. Oh my God, what are we ever going to do? Oh my God. Now all this time you've been flexing your muscle. You're the NFL, man. Trust me. For that one sponsor that dropped out, for those two sponsors that dropped out, there would be two more waiting to replace it. Trust me. You lose Papa John's, Pizza Hut coming right after. You lose Pizza Hut, Domino's will be right there. Okay, you lose Domino's, Little Caesars will be right there. And speaking of sponsors, we can't let them off the hook either, y'all. Because a lot of these companies, a lot of these corporations that are saying things now, that are putting out these statements, that are putting up the little black box on Instagram. These same companies didn't say anything back when Colin Kaepernick was protesting. Okay, they didn't want to be a part of it. I'm pretty sure that there were some companies, there were some sponsors behind the scenes telling the NFL like, hey, you need to rein this in or we're out. Now all of a sudden they want to be down for the cause in Rob Parker's voice. Now that it's the cool thing to do to stand beside black people in this matter, given what happened to George Floyd, all of a sudden they've changed their tune. They've changed their tone. Now they're supportive. Now Black Lives Matter. Now all of a sudden they want to be a part of the in group. I always say this, man. You know, you can tell a real friend. Your real friends are the ones that check on you for nothing. Those are your real friends for sure. Like, those are the ones that you need to keep around you. You need to keep those people around you. Matter of fact, I think I did a episode on that a while back. Like, you need to keep those type of people around. You need to keep that energy around you. The people who check on you for nothing, okay, it doesn't have to be a party going on. Nothing has to be wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just want to check, like, dang, I wonder how such and such is doing. Let me just check on them, see how you doing, see how the fam's doing. And that's it. No strings attached, not asking you for anything. They are just genuinely concerned about your well-being. They're not checking on you because everybody else is checking on you. They're not calling you because everybody else is calling you. They're calling because they want to, because they're genuinely concerned about you. So you need to keep those type of people in your life, right? So I've always said that. And, you know, you look at a lot of these companies, a lot of these corporations, all of a sudden, right, they want to be down. All of a sudden, they're all about Black Lives Matter. But see, when nobody cared, or when less people cared, they didn't care either. They ain't say nothing. They didn't give a blankety blank about Black Lives Matter. They didn't give a blankety blank about police brutality. Okay, show me the money. We too worried about our customers over here. We're too worried about, we need to keep our customer base. We need to make sure that these ratings are on point. We don't care what's going on with y'all. It's not happening to us. So go on about your business. And as far as my reaction to the video and Roger Goodell's response to the video, I will say that I'm glad to see that the NFL players got together. It was nice to see all those brothers together and doing something like that and putting that out. I think it was a powerful video. I think it was a powerful statement. And to see Roger Goodell actually respond to that, and to see the NFL respond to that and actually come out and say, you know what, we got it wrong, and we will get behind you guys with your peaceful protesting. Now, of course, in his response, in Roger Goodell's response, they didn't call out Kaepernick. Okay, he did not say Colin Kaepernick's name. They didn't apologize to Colin Kaepernick. He didn't say anything about trying to get him back into the league. None of that. But this is a start. This is a start. I will give them that, and I will give them credit for that. Now, what I want to see them do going forward is I want them to keep applying pressure. I want them to keep applying pressure. They are in a position of power right now. Like, Bomani Jones brought up a good point with everything that's going on in America right now. Hey, man, black people, look, you probably have not felt more listened to in your life. Okay? You've probably not felt this powerful in your life. I mean, people are getting fired for saying the wrong things, for being tone deaf. I mean, who was the guy out in Sacramento where Boogie Cousins asked him on Twitter or something, what do you think about Black Lives Matter? And he was like, all lives matter. And the guy got fired. You know, we're seeing stories like that nowadays, man. And all these companies are coming out with these statements, even though they didn't want to come out with them 4 years ago. But whatever, okay? You know, it is what it is. Hey, we can only deal with what we can deal with now. Okay, we'll take what we can get. But, you know, they are the players, man. They generate the revenue, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Roger Goodell came out and said, yeah, if you guys aren't there, there's no NFL. Okay, given that the league is 70% black. So, of course you guys have a voice. Of course we should care what you think. Of course we shouldn't be tone deaf to these issues. Of course not. It would be really nice to see the NFL just get behind black people, man, in this country, to get behind the black players and get behind black people. Because unfortunately in America, it's just like the last thing anybody wants to do. They don't want to get behind any of our causes. They don't want to get behind anything that we want to stand up for. It's just like, yeah, you guys are just making all this up. You're just making police brutality up. Stop resisting arrest. You know, if you weren't a criminal, right? If the police didn't have any reason to stop you, you wouldn't have got shot in the chest 8 times. It's like, for some reason, they just don't want to get behind. They don't want to put their arms around us. And I know I keep using that term, but For some reason, they just don't want to. They don't want to put their arms around us. They think we're making all this stuff up. They think we're just BSing. And for every George Floyd murder, okay, there are a plethora of things going on that didn't get captured, that the body cameras didn't capture, that somebody wasn't around to film. I mean, there was an incident that happened in Florissant, Missouri, where this police officer just decided to chase this guy and run him down. And no, I don't mean run him down on foot. I mean run him down with a truck, with an unmarked squad car. Okay, the guy was running from the police. You know what I'm saying? He was running. It's the typical guy runs from the police. Okay, that happens, right? So he's running from the police, and the police is in the truck, and the guy that's running, black guy, was running on foot, and the police officer just decided to smack him with his truck. And whoever that guy was that got hit by that truck, he needs to be counting his lucky stars that he's not dead. I was surprised that he was able to even move after that. And so he ran him down, ran him over, hit him with the truck, and ended up arresting him in the front yard of somebody's home. And just so happened, they had a Ring doorbell camera. Now, imagine if they didn't have that. Imagine if the homeowner didn't have the guts to put the footage out. You know what I'm saying? This would have never gotten captured. And this is probably not the first time this guy's done something like that. Matter of fact, I think I saw something where he had another incident a few years back of using force. It's just like the stealing analogy I used a few episodes back, right? I mean, if you get caught stealing, that's probably not your first time stealing. It's just the first time you got caught. You get caught speeding, that's probably not your first time speeding. It's just the first time you got caught. So this guy probably has a pattern of behavior with excessive force. I mean, he just flat out smacked him, dude. He had no reason to run into him at all. He just decided, you know what? I'm about to end this. Just like that guy who just decided that, you know what? I'm just about to end this with Walter Scott. Even though he's running away from me, I'm just about to shoot him. So think about all the things that don't get captured on film. Think about that. So I'm very happy to see that, it's unfortunate what happened with George Floyd. And I really just, I can't get that visual out of my head with that guy's knee on the back of his neck. But it does seem like his death, it may actually lead to some change, bro. It may actually lead to some change, because this is one where you cannot say, oh, he had a gun in his waistband. Or he was reaching for something. I mean, the guy was freaking handcuffed. He was handcuffed, dog. He was handcuffed. I don't think people bring that point up enough when they talk about this story. He was handcuffed, man. And they still felt the need to use all of that force on him, even though he was handcuffed on the ground. I just can't get that visual out of my head. But hopefully this leads to some real change. I really want the NFL players to keep the momentum up, and not just the NFL players, but everybody, in America. Keep speaking up, keep protesting for change. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing it. We got some momentum right now. Let's keep going. Let's continue with the momentum, man. Let's keep the momentum going, and hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel with this whole thing. It's gonna be hard. It's not gonna come overnight. It's not gonna come overnight for the NFL. It's not gonna come overnight for the NBA. It's not gonna come overnight for America. It's not. But you gotta start somewhere. So that's it for me. Chief True, I'm out. As always, make sure you follow all of the social media handles in the description, the Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page, all that good stuff. I will probably, I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises on a live stream this week, but make sure you got the Podbean app downloaded. If I go live, you'll be able to see the notification. I'll do a better job on sharing the live stream on the social media platforms. I think I did it on Facebook, but I didn't do it on any of the other social media platforms, Twitters or Instagrams. Nothing like that, but I'll do a better job of that. But if you have the Podbean app, you can actually see it'll give you a notification when I'm going live, so you can see when I'm going live. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, count your blessings, not your problems. Peace.